ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं विश्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अष्टादशोऽध्यायः मोक्षसंन्यासयोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच तत्रैवं शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः। This is the 15th श्लोक। तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावो बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते। ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना करणं कर्म कर्तेति त्रिविधः कर्म संग्रहः। ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च त्रिधैव गुणभेदतः प्रोच्यते गुणसङ्ख्याने यथा वच्छृणुतान्यपि सर्वभूतेषु एनैकं भावमव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम् पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानं नानाभावान् पृथक्विधान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसं यत्तु कृत्स्नवदेकस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तमहैतुकम् अतत्त्वार्थवदल्पं च तत्तामसमुदाहृतम् नियतं सङ्गरहितम् अरागद्वेषतः कृतम् अफलाप्रेप्सुना कर्म यत्तत् सात्विकमुच्यते यत्तु कामेप्सुना कर्म साहङ्कारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तद्राजसमुदाहृतम् अनुबन्धं क्षयं हिंसान् अनपेक्ष च पौरुषं मोहादारभ्यते कर्म यत्तत्तामसमुच्यते ॐ तत्सत्
We did the Tamas Jnanam yesterday, right? So we're
Yeah, I
going
think
to
we'll
continue
repeat
from
that.
that. Okay.
Yeah, you can read that one more time. Are
Mm.
you okay to read? Bela
Yeah.
is back.
No problem. I can read. No problem.
Yeah.
This is a 20.
22nd.
Yeah.
Before we get started, I'd requested Nana to come for a session.
Oh, okay.
He's willing to do that. He is happy to do that anytime this week. So today is Tuesday.
Mm. No, yeah, for you Tuesday, yeah.
For us Tuesday. For you it's still Monday.
Monday, yeah.
So should we do this on Friday? The coming Friday?
Friday, yeah, should be fine. Friday, it's fine. That will be Thursday night for me.
Friday or even Saturday. Let me know. Based on when you want it, we can have. We could
So
have covered some ground.
yeah, well, you want to discuss from 18th chapter or is anything specific?
No, in anything, 18th chapter, and
Okay.
in the previous, if we have any doubts in any of the things that we have covered thus far, Atma Bodh, Bhaja Govindam, any of that, if we have any doubts, then it's fine.
Okay.
Otherwise, specifically pertaining to 18 chapters, also good. Yeah.
Okay, that'd be good. Thanks. I know we were one time we discussed, oh, we should ask like one of the Savitaji's question, but then you did ask him and clarified right away.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I know you did the sloka already, so I'm going to go with the padartha here. Yattu, whereas that knowledge by which, Yattu, whereas that knowledge by which, ekasmin karye, ekasmin karye in one object, Krishnavat, as though it is everything.
I don't know whether everyone can see the screen. I'm not able to.
Oh, you are unable to see
Oh,
the
we are
screen?
not able to see the screen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
not able to see the screen.
Okay. Oh, it says it's paused here. Okay. Now, can you see it?
Yes, it's fine now.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Do you want to read the sloka, please? Yeah. The verse 22, please.
यत्तु कृत्स्नवदेकस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तमहैतुकम् अतत्त्वार्थवदल्पञ्च तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
Okay. Yattu, whereas that knowledge by which ekasmin karye in one object. Ekasmin karye is one in one object. Krishnavat, as though it is everything. Saktam, committed. Ahaitukam, that which is without reasoning. Attar, atatva, okay, atatvar tavat, atatvar tavat, artavat, okay, sorry, atatva artavat. That which is without truth. Atatva artavat. Alpamcha and very limited. That tamasam udahritam is said to be tamasa. So yattu ekasmin karye one okay ekasmin karye krishnavat yattu ekasmin karye krishnavat saktam ahai ahaitukam atatva artavat alpam cha tamasam udahritam. Whereas that knowledge by which one is committed to one object as though it is everything, which is without reasoning, illogical, without truth, and very limited. That knowledge is tamasa. So, I'll read that one more time. Whereas that knowledge by which one is committed to one object as though it is everything, and which is without reasoning, illogical. Without reasoning, it is illogical, without truth, and very limited. That knowledge is called tamasa. The 3 points here. Without reasoning, only one object, then it is without reasoning, without truth, and very limited knowledge. Tamasa knowledge. To distinguish this knowledge, this jnana from the other two is sattvika. Other two, that is sattvika and rajasa. So to distinguish this jnana from the other two, that is sattvika and rajasa, he uses the particle to, whereas here one is committed sakta to one object. So one is committed to one object, karya, such as the body or anything else, as though it is everything, Krishnavat. Everything is Krishnavat. Everything seems to end in a given object. So everything seems to end in a given object, and nothing beyond that is seen, because feeling is the basis of all conclusion. So the definition here is, when I'll read these 4 lines again, to distinguish this jnana from the other two is sattvika and rajasa, he uses the particle to, whereas. Here one is committed sakta to one object, karya, such as the body or anything else, as though it is everything, Krishnavat. Everything seems to end in a given object, and nothing beyond that is seen, because feeling is the basis of all conclusion. So here the feeling, emotion, that is the basis of all conclusion. So for example, that given object could be the physical body. A person who has this kind of knowledge thinks that there is nothing other than that. He thinks that the physical body has some qualities, and one of them is consciousness. Since everything is in one physical body, when the body is gone, everything is gone. The conclusion here is, when the body is gone, I am gone. When the body is fat, I am fat. When the body is tall, I am tall. The body is the Atma, and Atma is the body. There is nothing more than that. This is the contention of Charvaka, a materialist. And therefore, such a person sees different beings as having distinct futures, distinct bodes, distinct karma, distinct experiences of sukha and dukkha, etc. Even if he may recognize an Atma surviving the physical body. So he may recognize an Atma surviving the physical body. So the last line, let me read this. Therefore, such a person sees different beings as having distinct futures, distinct bodes, and distinct karma, distinct experience of sukha and dukkha, etc., even if he may recognize an Atma surviving the physical body. So somewhere it's in between, but one place he says Atma surviving the physical body. Shankara mentions some other possibilities here. If the person is a devotee and worships a particular form, perhaps in stone or wood, as though it is the only form of the Lord, that is also tamasam jnanam. Okay, that is only tamasam jnanam. So only that particular form made of stone or wood, that's only the form of Lord, that the belief the person has. Tamasam jnanam. Now, for the sake of worship, we have an altar, something we consecrate, installing the manifest presence of the Lord there. And if anyone worships a given form, completely committed to that one object alone, Krishnavati ekasmin karye, thinking that the particular form God alone is God, he also has tamasanyana. The capacity to discriminate viveka is lacking. So I'll read the footnote for the tamasa thing. In fact, what we are worshipping is not the idol, we are worshipping Ishvara. If anybody condemns you as an ideal worshipper, he does not understand what we are worshipping. So, somebody is saying this idol is only object alone, that the particular form is the God, that becomes tamasa jnana. But then again, they explain here, if we are not just worshipping the idol or the wooden form, but it is the Ishvara that we are worshipping. As experiences are different, are not Atmas also different and many? So, as experiences are different, are not Atmas also different and many? A question may be raised here. Is it not true, after all, that the experiences of Sukha and Dukkha are different for everyone? So I'll read this again. A question may be raised here. Is it not true, after all, that experiences of Sukha and Dukkha are different for everyone? Yes. Your pain and pleasure belong to you, right? My pain and my pleasure belong to me, and therefore they are definitely different. What is wrong with that? Okay. It is valid knowledge of things as they are. There is no erroneous perception here. How can you say that it is rajasam jnanam and is therefore distorted, and that is what the truth is? If, on the other hand, Atma is one and the same, then everybody should have the same experience. If I have Sukha, everybody should have Sukha. If I get liberated, everybody should get liberated. If I have Dukkha, everybody should have Dukkha. But that is not how things are. One is happy, Sukhi. Another is sad, Dukhi. One is enlightened, Jnani. The other is ignorant, Ajnani. Therefore, differences do exist. How can you say this is the distorted knowledge? So here the thing to understand, I think, yes, experience are different, but Atma is the same. It's the not no, are not Atmas also different and many? So that is the question. So we know, knowing from our information, yes, you may have different experiences, but Atma is the same for everyone. But that's the correct thing. But again, this is for discussion. In spite of differences, the basic Vastu is one. Yeah, now they're coming up with that one. In spite of differences, the basic Vastu is one. It is true that Sukha, Dukkha, and so on are all different attributes of the Antakarana. Again, it is true that Sukha and Dukkha and so on are all different attributes of the antakarana. These are attributes and they are different. But in spite of all the differences, there is only one thing that is there, the Nirvikalpa Atma. Again, what is there? The Nirvikalpa Atma, the self without attributes. So I'm going to read this line again. There are attributes and they are different. But in spite of all the differences, there is only one thing that is there, the Nirvikalpa Atma, the self without attributes. See the difference. In spite of all the differences, there is only one Vastu that is there, which is Atma. And knowing that is the Sattvika Jnana, while seeing difference is Rajasa Jnana. But just because one Antakarana has this perception of difference, it does not mean the Vastu is not one. That Vastu is not one. Just because different vessels have different volumes, it does not mean that space is divided into many parts. It remains one undivided whole. So too, clay is the same, even though the forms it assumes are different. And similarly, here the Vastu is the same, and the Nama and the Nama Rupa, the names and forms differ. What differs is called Anatma Dharma. So what differs is called Anatma Dharma. It is not the essential nature of Atma. We are not shy of the perception of duality because in spite of this perception, there is non-duality. Again, this line. We are not shy of the perception of duality because in spite of this perception, there is non-duality. That is Satvikam Jnanam. In spite of all the differences, there is non-duality alone. In spite of all the differences, that is this in spite of differences, the basic Vastu is one. Here they are coming to that conclusion. In spite of all the differences, there is a non-duality alone. The so-called differences are not really differences at all. They are mithya, and therefore the Vastu is only one, and that is myself. This is jnana. When this is the truth, if only difference is seen, we have to say that it is Rajasa Jnana. So when this is the truth, if only difference is seen, we have to say that it is Rajasa Jnana. Yeah. But when one sees only one thing as though it is the whole, that is Tamasa Jnana. How they nicely say it here. When one sees when one sees only one thing as though it is the whole, that is the Tamasa Jnanam. This person does not know what he is doing. Some devotees of Lord Krishna are an example of this. The mantra they chant originally appears in the Kali Chantra Upanishad as Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. But they will reverse the order and chant the name of Krishna first because of their commitment to the belief that Krishna alone is the Supreme Lord. And a fanatic has no understanding of what the Ishvara is, and you cannot make him understand either. It is like talking to a wall. Nothing happens. This is tamasam jnanam, meaning it is born of tamoguna. Either he thinks that the physical body alone is Atma or that one given form alone is the Lord. Both are included here. So what is the tamasa jnana here? Because it's born of tamoguna. Either he thinks that physical body alone is Atma or that one given form alone is the Lord. Both are included here. Next one is illogical knowledge. Shankara mentions here a sect that holds that the body has to be purified in order for one to be released from all karma. Again, Shankara mentions here a sect that holds that the body has to be purified in order for one to be released from all karma. They look upon the Atma as other than the body, but then consider it to have the size of the body. How is that could be, right? As the size of the body increases, Atma goes on enlarging. In this view again, Atma is as good as the body, even though they say it is distinct from the body if it has the size of the body. If it has limbs and so on, then that means it is the only as good as the body. This is tamasam jnanam. You can't say Atma is distinct from the body and subtler than the body. Wow. Okay, so you can't say Atma is distinct from the body and subtler from the body and at the same time say it has the size of the body. What is that Atma that is other than the body and still has the size of the body? That means you are attributing limbs to the Atma. If it has no limbs, then it does not have the size of the body. It makes no sense, and therefore Krishna says it is ahaitukam, without reason, illogical. There is no thinking involved in such views. Yeah. Then again, such knowledge is atatva arthavat, atatvartavat, knowledge. So that knowledge is called atatva, not truth, which has no element of truth, though it is held to be true. Though it is held to be true, there is no element of truth in that knowledge. This kind of knowledge is knowledge at all, but those who subscribe to it hold it very dearly as though it is the knowledge. That is why it is said to be tamasam udahritam. Tamasam udahritam. There is another word used to describe this knowledge, alpam. Shankara says that because it is without reason, haituka, it is alpa, precious little. Precious little, or we can say it is alpa because the result of it is very limited. It does not lead one anywhere. If you say the body alone is Atma, it will only lead to sorrow because the body cannot be maintained. It goes on aging and finally dies. Anyone who holds this belief cannot avoid the fear of mortality. Therefore, the result he gets out of this knowledge is very little alpa. Then again, the knowledge is limited because he does not see anything beyond the physical body. His knowledge covers only a limited sphere of perception. So he has very limited knowledge, sphere of perception. This is illogical knowledge. Oh, okay. So we talked about illogical knowledge. In spite of the differences, there's one vastu. What is that? Yeah. And then experience are different or not. Atmas also different and many. And tamasa knowledge. So he kind of went over everything, comparing it to tamasa knowledge. So can we share the ideas here? So the tamasa knowledge is basically the one committed to the object and believing that is everything without any logic or without any that without any logic and without any truth in it. And so he gets only limited end. The belief is Atma, the only Atma's, the belief is the physical body or anything else, but then our physical body is limited to this Atma. Atma is the body. That's how they're within that framework of that physical body. So when the physical body ends, everything ends. That's a belief. So that knowledge doesn't get him anywhere because they cannot think anything else. So they don't go any under reasoning or so that's a limited. That's called the tamasic knowledge, jnana. They think everything is that one object. That's it. It's called atavat alpamcha. Alpam, very limited. Yeah.
It is a tatvarthavat. Tatva is we
Right.
read the word na tat. A
Uh,
tatvarth.
yeah,
A tatva. A tatvarthavat. Without any tat, like a tatvarth.
right.
Without
Okay.
any.
Yeah, you're reading it from here, but I am reading atatvat. I mean, this is just not right?
A. Only
You know,
a.
yeah, this is only so that's why I said atatvat.
A tatvarth.
Atatvat, that one with the line over there. Then I thought it was, but then atatvat.
He has a because of lack of awareness, you can say, so a very poor perception. So he doesn't he cannot perceive the difference between the atma and the body. For him, everything is the same. Like only the what is visible is only perceived by him. What is not visible, atma is not visible, so he cannot perceive. So he has a very poor perception.
Feeling that feel he goes by that feeling. It's
Yeah.
not like he go beyond that feeling, like he not going for reasoning.
Yeah, so because he has a poor lack of awareness, lack of
Hmm.
knowledge, you can say, so he cannot perceive anything beyond what is visible to him. Only that is visible, that is felt at the body level, he can perceive that only. So that is why he is relating everything to his body.
Yeah, he kind of limits himself, even though he has this different beings and everything. They have different feature, all that, but they had nice explanation as to the next page. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Also, this Thomas and Jnanam, they not only believing that knowledge alone, but either they believe that physical body is the Atma, or the believing the Lord, that one form, that particular form. That is also tamasanyana. That the 2 points that was given as tamasanyana. That the capacity to discriminate, that is lacking in the tamasanyana. So that's what differentiates it from the other ones. He doesn't even realize that there's one vastu. At some place it says maybe he will realize Atma is escapes the body or something at the end, but then uh, that differentiation is not there. So please share your thoughts again, please. I know I may not said everything. Oh, we have to go 23 now. Mhm. So see, so far, yeah,
Charavaka. Charavaka is Sanskrit word or like Charavaka?
sounds like it. I don't
Yeah,
hear
materialistic.
from anywhere else that
Yeah,
word. Materialistic for,
materialistic. So
yeah.
he's a materialistic, lacking viveka,
Mm.
cannot discriminate. Then
They're only going outwardly, right? They're not
yeah.
really looking inside. That is the thing. So far we've reviewed Trivida knowledge part, Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic knowledge. Next one we are going to threefold division of karma. So before we go to that, please share everyone as much as possible. You can even connect with the other two also, so what the difference is like.
Mara, can you summarize?
About the tamasic knowledge or the
Yeah, Tamasic.
okay. Tamasic knowledge basically, what they said is that the one who he says like a two, right? Like whereas they're sorry, yeah, that which one is this 22, right? Yeah, this one. So tamasic
Tamasic
knowledge.
knowledge is only one what they believe is correct.
In even
And
that
that is
the
the
correct,
whole.
yeah.
That is tamasic knowledge.
So the two things that they mentioned here is one is without reasoning. So it's a one person that committed to an object, meaning like say the physical body or even anything else, meaning like say in terms of the idol or a form of idol that he worshipping as a god, that that is everything for them. They don't think anything beyond that. So that physical body is everything. So everything, if we the atma, the body, everything is the same for them. They don't even trying to reason out how this happened or this, nothing like that. So, and there is no truth to it and no logic to it. So that's how that person, I mean, that tamasic knowledge person has that understanding of this. That's what I understood from this. I mean, that knowledge is very limited knowledge and it doesn't get them anywhere. That is called that alpa. Atatva, artavat, alpam. So that is called, it doesn't get him anywhere. It doesn't get him beyond anywhere. It's very limited. That pretty much what is said. So this Krishna with that as though it is everything. That one object is everything for them. So they only committed to that part. But even
This is only Charvakyas, or means I didn't get that thread. So who is saying this? Charvakya or other?
this is the contention of Charvaka, a materialist.
Okay.
And there is nothing more than that. So the body is the Atma or Atma is the body. I think yesterday Dr. Brahma read this Charvaka. I thought it was that we mention about Purna Mimamsa. Oh, but I thought this is a name for the materialist or something. I don't know. Oh. I'm thinking this is from the sloka that he explained word by word here, and then he goes on to say the conclusion here is when the body is gone, I am gone. So everything.
Yeah, this is Charvaka is saying. Body is gone, everything is gone. It's the theory of Charvaka.
Yeah, right. That's a contention of Charvaka. And therefore, such a person sees different things, different futures and whatnot, they have different experiences of sukha, dukkha and all that. And then he may recognize Atma surviving the physical body in this one. And then when we go to the next part where Shankara comes in here, then he says, mention the other possibilities of what is going on here. If that person is a devotee and worships a particular form, and then perhaps a stone or wood, as though it is the only form of the Lord. So that is also called tamasanyana. And here, like you asked, I think that's what I remember what Dr. Brahmara said. She can probably intervene and let me know also. But the way it explained in the end, the Tatparya, for the whole thing also said the same thing. So here, he experiences are different, or are not Atmas also different and many. So for them, giving this yes, no type of an answer, right? He brought it here. Sukha, dukkha is different for everyone. So that we agree, obviously everyone experiences are different. But then Atma is one and the same for everybody. So just because Atma is one and the same, not everybody going to have the same experience. That is what is explained in here in this part, this one. But in essence, that tamasic knowledge is that limited knowledge. They believe.
Thank you.
Yeah, they believe that only one thing, everything is that one thing, not beyond that. So if we didn't know, so think about even ourselves. If we didn't have this knowledge, what would be thinking? This is everything, right? Like that.
So can you say this comparison of all three, Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic? All three, one sentence.
Sattvic jnanam is that purified mind, right? The purified mind, and that you see yourself. You see yourself first, and then the self in the others are the same. That jnanam is sattvic jnanam. Like you realize yourself, and the same self is everywhere.
And for Rajasic?
For Rajasic is you have you are different. I mean, the people are, you see it as a separate, the separateness from the Atma, sorry,
Yeah, Atma
physical.
is one, but it is individualized in everyone.
Right. It's Atma and body itself separate from one another, So you see different beings, and then that different beings experience, the sukha, dukkha, and pain, pleasure, all those things are happening because of the different spot. Like they have the knowledge and desires, and what else? The one more thing. Uh, experience, feeling, or something like that. I don't remember. The three things that they are different, distinct, because they think this Atma and the body is separate from the other.
Basically, he doesn't recognize the non-dual nature of Atma. So
Yeah, they
that is
do.
why,
Yeah.
yeah, that is
Yeah, but
why
in
for him,
Vyavharik Satya, there are two, no, then only the Vyavhar happens. But in the background, we should have this sattvic knowledge that everything is one. But in
No,
Vyavhara, the more we
the thing
intuitively
is, yeah, one, let me quickly finish that. So when you say that separate means, so I am different from you, so that even though we are different from you, the real knowledge is what, even though I'm different from you, there is only one Atma, right? In this case, you see it, you are different from I am, so you see God, duality. Actually, yeah, that is what the Rajasic knowledge. You see it different, you differentiate like that. And then
correct.
the Tamasic knowledge where you don't even have that part. And then I think in Rajasic, they do say when you die, the Atma separates or something like that. I remember, like, they don't. Anyway, so yeah, go ahead, please.
Anyway, we have to enact in Rajas and Tamas also. But when you are sattvic bhava is there, then the actions will not create the again the repetitive karma.
Right, because yeah, right. That sattvic jnana that you already have, right? Yourself is you're seeing everywhere, so you don't have that karma anymore. You don't. Then when you don't do the karma, obviously you don't have any karma pala. You don't have that life and death. I mean, coming back again and again. So that samsara is eliminated. That's how.
Dried up.
this we'll be reading in the next shloka, the threefold division of karma. We have read the jnana, knowledge. Now we'll be reading the threefold
Right,
division.
knowledge. Yeah.
For people like us who are on the path, still on the path, I think what the anecdotes or what that we should take our takeaways is more and more instead of using our past impressions and memory, more and more if we do the karma in the present moment intuitively, then for us also it will not create extended karma.
You know,
Because
from
end
the
of the day,
last.
while we are reading it every moment, what is that takeaway for me this moment? So I think this is the takeaway because we are not that completely established in Sattvic. No, we are not.
The takeaway is that sattvic knowledge is the only thing is get to you to moksha. That is
Correct.
what is in the last three slokas. But when you do karma, then this is coming up now. But I mean, again, you know, that's something uh, that's that. I mean, but we are all like Dr. Brahma said. I mean, I also believe that like we are like in Rajasic nature because we still
Correct.
thinking a dual nature.
Yes. And anyway, in the world, in the Vyavharik Satya, you have to be in the dual this thing. No, I can't put my hand in your pocket to take the money. I need to follow.
If you want, I can give it to you. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know. That's right.
No. Daily, we will be going through all this sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic.
Right.
If you are not tamasic, you cannot sleep.
True. Yeah.
You know, so it is cycle. We should balance it. Just
yeah, that's what we also said, right? When
only
Sattvic
do the work without attachment.
dominates, yeah.
Do the work without attachment. That is the sattvic. That's it. And no liking. I like this. I don't like that. That bhavana has to come.
There are three types. That is, the gunas are divided here. we're talking of jnana. He's talked of three things: jnana, karma, and the karta. If you remember the three or four shlokas before,
those are
the
three factors.
tridaiva guna bhedataha, jnanam, karma cha, karta cha. So he's talked about the three types of jnana, which is sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Now he's going to talk about the three types of karma and then the karta. So this distinction, he's further dividing. It's not just like conglomerating everything into these three gunas. He's dividing them further, subdividing them into different categories: jnana, karma, and karta. So having a tunnel vision, having a colored glass in front of you and looking at the world and saying, this is how the world is. It's very narrow. That is the tamasic. Whereas a rajasic person looks at, sees all the differences. He doesn't see the one thing in everything. He sees everything as separate. Whereas the sattvic person, sattvic jnana, sees the oneness in all the differences. Avibhaktam vibhakteshu. In spite of all the differences, the person with the sattvic jnana is able to see the oneness, the commonness. Is that vastu? That sad vastu is what the sattvic jnana brings about.
Paripurna tattva, right? Paripurna.
Huh? Yeah.
Paripurna knowledge. I mean, the Atma, like.
Right.
It's a whole thing, one whole thing.
So you can't say a person has to have, will have all the three. You have to get rid of the tamasika jnana, rajasika jnana to get the sattvic jnana. You cannot hold on to rajasic and tamasic and say, yes, I've got sattvic, right? That will happen only when you let go of these two. You slowly have to become gunatita, even go beyond the sattvic. That we'll come to, I think, later, but this is the understanding.
Brahmaraji, when we have a sattvic jnana, then sattvic karma will happen. And then what will be the next? The karmas will be good. Then we will be
the karta will be
free.
sattvic
Like
too.
karta
will become
pan bhi
more and
chala
more
jayega.
refined. Yeah.
Yeah, kartawan.
Okay.
But ultimately, even this has to be dropped.
Correct. Thank you.
So more and more we
Process
become
of evolution.
Yeah, it's you're kind of moving from whatever tamasic and those things are going to be less and less. And like you said, that gunatita, we have to remember, from Brahmajana, we read about that gunatita. And everywhere we have to read, we come above that part.
Because ultimately, all the gunas are what? They are byproducts of Maya. Maya is trigunatmika. Whereas Atma is guna rahita. So this is only for us, our understanding and for our evolution, as to see where do we stand, where are we, to slot ourselves and then evolve further.
That now that you said that, I remember that sloka that where the jnani is, he is awake when everybody is sleeping, and then he's sleeping when everybody's awake. So it's something like when you're jnani, then obviously you are above all that, right? I mean, then where these three gunas play a role in that person. I mean, even though that prarabdha is going on, he would be doing daily activities like as anybody else, right? But he is above those gunas. That's why he sees everything is the same. Yeah. You want to read this sloka for me, please? Let me read the threefold division of karma. This is the threefold knowledge Bhagavan Krishna promised to talk about. And now he's going to discuss the threefold nature of karma.
नियतं सङ्गरहितं मरागद्वेषतः कृतम् अफलप्रेप्सुना कर्म यत्तत् सात्विकमुच्यते. You want me to read the Tatparya?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Thanks.
Yeah. Yat niyatam karma, that enjoined action which aphala prepsuna, by a person who has no binding desire for the result. Sangarahitam, without attachment. Aragat dveshataha, without being impelled purely by likes and dislikes. Kritam, which is done. Tat, that. Satvikam uchyate, that is called satvika. Yat niyatam karma aphala prepsuna sangarahitam aragadveshatah kritam tat satvikam uchyate.
It's very nice. Thank you, Balaji. That action which is enjoined and which is done without attachment, without being impelled purely by likes and dislikes by a person, without a binding desire for the result, is called sattvika. So again, I'll read this. That action which is enjoined and which is done without attachment, without being impelled purely by, like impelled by likes and dislikes by a person, without binding desire for the result, is called sattvika. So that karma is done without attachment, one, without ragadveshas, and without having desire for the result of that action. So three things commits to the sattvic action. Sattvika karma. Sattvika karma. Niyatam means that which is enjoined by the Veda. Again, niyatam means that which is enjoined by the Veda. So this is prescribed by the Veda. And in terms of Vedic karmas, niyatam karma. Do you want to read biology for some time? I'll screen for you.
Dr. Mara, I request someone else because I can read only for 1 hour.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
no
can
problem.
send
Don't
someone
worry.
else. I can share the screen, no problem, but for little
Mm.
I'm
time
happy to read.
Yeah, go ahead, Sumanji.
please.
Go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I just did the cough.
So I'll do
Go ahead, Sumanji. You can start from Satvika karma.
Satvika karma. Nityam means that which is enjoined by the Veda. And in terms of the Vedic karmas,
That is
Nitya,
niyatam.
Nitya
Niyatam.
karma.
Niyatam, not nityam.
Oh, sorry. Niyatam.
Niyatam.
Sorry. Niyatam means that which is enjoined by the Veda. And in terms of the Vedic karmas, Niyatam karma would be the Nitya Naimitika karmas. It can also mean any duty that is very evident, any job that has to be done in a given situation. That also becomes Niyatam karma. This is Satvika karma, the karma done by a person whose mind has a predominance of sattva. And while describing it, the definition of karma yoga is given here. Any karma that is to be done, which is performed without a certain kind of attachment. Sangarahita. Sangarahita is Satvika. So any karma that is done, which is performed without a certain kind of attachment.
Sangarahita.
Sangarahita. Yeah.
Oh, Sangarahita, sorry.
Sangarahita.
Sangarahita.
Okay. Sangarahita is Satvika. It is free from such identification as I am the one who's doing this. It is done without ego, without attachment. Sangha Rahita. Then again, a karma that is done without being impelled by raga dveshas. Araga dveshaha kritam is a satvikam karma. Generally, the suffix thus indicates the fifth case, but it can also stand for any case, and here Shankara takes it as the third case. A karma that is done purely out of raga or dvesha, not taking into account dharma and adharma, is called raga dvesha kritam karma. Any karma will have an element of raga and dvesha because nobody can perform an action without the expectation of a result. But at the same time, karma can be prompted by a raga or dvesha without conforming to dharma and not eschewing adharma. So, when we say raga dvesha tha kritam karma, we mean only that karma which does not take cognizance of dharma and adharma. To raise the page. What is right or wrong? Threefold division. Next page. After this, next page. We have done this page. The next page. What is right or wrong? Can we go to the next page?
Correct. What is right and wrong?
Yeah, but I'm not able to see. But the Satvikam karma is the opposite of that. Araga dvesha kritam, not done impelled by raga dveshas alone. People do karmas, religious, vaitika, and secular laukika, to amass merit, punya, so that they can enjoy heaven and other improved situations later. But the karma spoken of here is done by one who is not desirous of that kind of result, phala. He is called afala prepsu, one who is not desirous of gaining a particular result of an action. He is a karma yogi and therefore interested only in karma for purifying his mind. Antakarna Shuddhyartham, and for pleasing Ishvara, Ishvara Prityartham. Both are for the sake of moksha. That kind of karma, the action done by a person, not desirous of a result. Afala prem prepsuna afala prepsuna kritam karma is called satvikam karma. How nicely the Shastra defines this karma. The more understanding you have of what is sattva, rajas, and tamas, the more subtlety you have in your appreciation of karma. You become more alert. That is why these divisions are made. It is something like appreciating the subtle nuances of color. If you do not know the names of different shades, you cannot even distinguish them properly. The more names you have, the more subtle is your appreciation of the difference between one shade and another. Similarly, the more you understand varieties of things like emotion, renunciation, food, giving charity, and so on, in terms of sattva, rajas, and tamas, the more subtle your appreciation and your action becomes. Very nice. We have seen how every action is divided in terms of sattva, rajas, and tamas. Here, actions in general are divided in terms of these three gunas, and the Sattvikam karma has already been defined. Now, Bhagavan goes on to define the Rajasam karma. Will someone read this, Yatu? Or you want to have some discussion on what is Sattvika karma? Sattvikam karma. So, it is, we all do karmas without expecting a result or expecting a result. It is kind of inbuilt. But if we do karma without looking
There are
for a
three
result,
things, right? Yeah, the three things. One is
Phala.
doing it without attachment, and doing it without any raga dveshas, and doing
and
not
dharma,
expecting the result of action.
and
Not
also
expecting
dharma and
result of
adharma.
action.
And for
Right, of
Ishvara
course.
Prityartham.
Yeah, you're doing it in the karma yoga attitude, in the karma yoga form. When you do it with that, that dharma falls under that, right? So you follow the dharma and do that action for the purpose of the antakarana suddhi and the Ishvara Prityartha. So that is
This
what
is for moksha.
I mean, that is called Sattvika karma. I mean, what we,
Yes. Yeah.
So,
And you become very alert because it is very subtle and subtle. As you go towards moksha, your awareness is very, very, very subtle. So, like shades of a color, you are able to distinguish every action based on these things, whether
they
it is
become more
dharma,
alert. Yeah.
adharma.
The subtlety is very, you are very sensitive to all the very little things, right? When you're that level.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that includes all your karma, your thoughts, all. Remember the three types of karma: kaika, vachika, manasika. So all that again can be categorized as sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. So the more differences, the more clarity that happens, that vichara and viveka is there, then it becomes finer and finer as you're going forward.
Yeah, even in what you eat, what you give as charity,
what you give
what
as
you
charity.
renounce,
Correct.
what about all your emotions, everything you become alert.
Yeah. So we will, I think Bhagwan is going to talk all about that in the coming verses. So Sattvic karma is no strings attached. Those 3 strings of attachment, raga, dvesha, and karma phala. These 3 are let.
And also dharma and adharma, action which is based on dharma and adharma.
Yeah, so it is niyatam karma, that which is prescribed by the Vedas. And whether it is laukika or vaidika, that is nimitta karma, he does it with this attitude of Ishvara Prityartham. That is the only goal. That's the only intention. I'm doing this for Ishvara's Priti. That's it. So then even that little, the desire for Antakarna Shuddhi is also not there. It will happen automatically. But even that is let loose. I mean, it's such a liberating state to be in.
Yeah.
You're doing it because it has to be done.
But very difficult to follow.
Yeah, but if you're aware of it, then you'll slowly start. See, the first step is to being aware. If you don't even have the knowledge, forget about even going there. But you have, now you get the concept. Okay, this is what Sattvika karma is. So, like Gurudev says, the knowledge that you want to do it, you're already halfway there. The other half, with a little practice, with a little awareness, you can then slowly nurture that concept until it becomes your nature. See, for him, all the whatever he does is sattvika karma only.
I'm thinking of even the way we dress.
Here I want to share one practical experience of ignorance. Like first when I learned this darshan kriya and all, I felt wow, like everybody. And then Gurudev said, go and do lot of seva and everything. And I used to do Sudarshan Kriya, do the follow up, but I never understood these trigunas, nothing. I knew nothing practically. And so it is like filling up the drum and emptying it through some holes at the bottom. So I used to feel so nice and all, and talking about art of living and Gurudev and everything. Other side, using all the 5 senses and the pleasures and going for the parties, that also was continued. I didn't realize that when Gurudev is giving you so much, and whenever he used to pass by Bombay, I used to see to it that I must meet him, because you feel so nice, but utna अक्कल नहीं था, utna समझ, the understanding was not there. Actually, when you meet him, you feel so elevated and all. Use that energy, use that positivity for some good seva, good karma. No, because this sattva, rajas, tamas, and what maya, nothing. So that is why the knowledge is very important. Then you become aware what's happening, which direction, what steps I should take, what steps I should not take, and all. That's why it is very important to have the knowledge. Otherwise, you will be just rolling round and round, up and down, and nothing. You will not reach anywhere. Your boat will not reach anywhere. Even
Even
if
in
the guru
yesterday's
says
satsang,
something.
Madhuri ji, in even
Huh?
yesterday's satsang, he said about Atma and Anatma, and he was so innocently speaking, कि तुम सब छोड़
Yeah.
के बैठ जाओ. So I was feeling so happy. So because of his hand holding, we are here now, and we can understand what he is saying little bit.
Correct. And that is why this knowledge sessions and this even if we are not able to implement it fully.
Thank you,
but
Brahmaraji, for
experience
taking
is
us
better.
up to this point.
Yes, yes, yes. Jai Gurudev. Without knowledge, otherwise you will just, even if the Guru comes in your life, you are 24/7 also with him. But if knowledge is not there, which direction you will take yourself? Nowhere.
Satsange nirmohatvam. That shloka is coming to my mind now.
Yes, yes, yes.
But in the
Satsange nissang.
all this will happen. And all this subtly, all that all of us have come together is because of his presence. In his presence, jnana samriddhi happens. Without any need, you just feel happy. All those six kinds of attributes in the presence of the master, right? So it is the consciousness which has brought us together on this path. So I think it's all, everybody is participant in this. Each one is helping one another grow. The true Sangachadvam is happening here, isn't it?
And even our Zoom call, there is no restriction, means there is no compulsion to keep the video on. Still we are together. Otherwise, in other groups, I always say, group में video on नहीं करोगे निकाल दिए जाओगे. So much pressure.
They are moving from out of Nama Rupa. So why I'm not saying that you should not, when you're doing an online session for happiness
Yeah, that's
whatever,
okay.
you of course do that. But on a lighter vein, I'm just saying, we are moving away from Nama Rupa to Asti Bhati Preeti. So the video doesn't really matter.
I don't know so many people here. I know the names, but form I don't know.
We are doing Shruti part now. We are not like all can hear. Don't have to. Of course, you see the screen.
Only by the voice. Okay, this is Suma,
Right.
this one. Oh, nice.
So now you have voice recognition now.
And yesterday,
so you can
Gurudev again
identify.
said about the Nam, Rupa, and all these things. Nah, it was so touching. Very much.
Ten minutes more. Let's see how big is this.
Yeah.
Is the next one is small only.
Well. Yeah, we'll do the next verse.
Yeah, you want to read the sloka from
Sloka.
Yeah.
Yes, yattu kamepsuna karma sahankarena va punaha kriyate bahulayasam tadrajasamudahritam. Yattu karma, but that karma which kamepsuna, by the one who has a pronounced desire for the result, sahankarena va punaha, or again with arrogance, bahula al ayasam, with a lot of effort, kriyate is done, that rajasam udahritam is called rajasam. Yat tu karma kamepsuna sahankarena va punaha bahula ayasam kriyate tat rajasam udahritam. Another thing about the sattvika karma is done without the doership, because you're doing it for the sake of Ishvara, whereas here there is sahankarena. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, that's a sankarahita.
Sangarahita.
And here is sahankarena. Okay, but that karma which is done, but that karma which is done by one who has a pronounced desire for the result, or again with arrogance and a lot of effort, is called rajasa. I'll read this again. But that karma which is done by one who has pronounced desire. So this one is, the other one is no ragadvesha. Here, pronounced desire for the result, or again with arrogance and a lot of effort is called Rajasa. So it is without attachment here, the arrogance and a lot of effort. Rajasa karma, again the particle to it distinguishes this karma from the Sattvikam karma described in the previous verse. The word kamepsuna has the same meaning as the word palaprapsuna. So kamepsuna has the same meaning as the word palaprapsuna. By the one who has the desire to obtain the results.
Alaprepsuna.
Palaprapsuna, okay. Palaprapsuna. By the one who has the desire to obtain the results. One who has the desire to obtain the results. Karma is what is desired by you, the karma pala. Karma is what is desired by you, the karma pala. One wants punya so that he can improve his lot either here or elsewhere. Shankara says the word punar in this verse has no real meaning and is only used to fill up the meter, or you can take it in its own meaning again. It will not hurt the sense that the verse conveys. So it will not hurt the sense that verse conveys. Again, this is the karma done with ahankara, ahankarena. This use of ahankara here is not in the sense of agency, which is in contrast to a jnani who does action without any sense of doership. Anahankarena. Here the word ahankara has the meaning of pride. Let us consider a person who is well informed, a Strotriya, who has the knowledge of the Vedas and a lot of other good qualities also, but does not have Atmajnana. He is humble naturally because the more knowledge you have, the more you realize how much you do not know. So again, I'm sorry, I read the miss sentence here. He is humble naturally because the more knowledge you have, the more you realize how much you do not know. Relatively, we say he is free from ahankara, by which we mean free from the certain pride. This is the karma yogi as we saw in the last verse. One who is with ahankara, sahankara, is the opposite. So one is with ahankara, sahankara is the opposite. He has a strong identification. Sorry, right, you're right. Sahankara is the opposite. He has the strong identification, such as I am a great ritualist, I am a Brahmana, I am strong, etc. This is not just a healthy self-image, but arrogance. This is the pride related to his being a Vaidika. This is the pride related to his being a Vaidika. If you perform a huge ritual like Somayaga, you get a name as a Somayaji. And some people get very inflated opinions of themselves as a result. In a non-Vedic context, this is the type of a person who shows off his riches. It is the same thing in a different form. Whether it is a religious snobbishness or secular, it is ahankara. Then further this karma is done with a lot of effort. Bahulayasam kritam. Okay, it is done with a lot of effort. Bahulayasam kritam. A person who does this type of karma will make elaborate arrangement and make it known that he is doing a great karma. This is called Rajasam karma. It is born of Rajas. The third one is interesting. So we have 3 minutes more. So anybody want to share idea, Manana on this? Please come forward. So the key words are kamepsuna, sahankarana, bagulyasa. That makes the rajasic karma. Kamepsuna is by the one who has desire for the result. Sahankarena vapunaga is with doing it with arrogance. And bagulayasam is with a lot of effort. That type of karma is rajasam karma. Kamepsuna, sahankarena, bagulayasam. So please share. Dr. Brahma, you let me know. I just want to take a 1 minute break.
Didi, can you elaborate on lot of effort?
Yeah, lot of effort.
Because it is driven by the raga and dvesha, they are like the go-getters. They will get to do whatever it requires to get that done. So they put in a lot of effort there.
Now the doership bhavana is there. When you don't have the doership bhavana, then you don't feel the effort. But when you see that I am doing it, you feel the effort. And he has to put a lot of effort for that.
And he will
Naturally.
want that his efforts are showed also, like they are obvious, they are like they're depicted profoundly, so that everybody can acknowledge and see that how much he's doing. Like some politician, you can say, he publicize what everything he's doing, this, that, and like just showing off more and more his efforts.
When you apply our knowledge of Tattva Bodha, Ahankara, Aham Karta, automatic that Karta Bhavana will come. When you leave the Ahankara, then no doership. Then there will be, you don't feel the effort. Here you have to put lot of effort to show off, to do many things. So that is Rajasi. And that is the usual thing happening in the world. Oh, I have done this, we did that, we did just. And in the corporate, this one, they will set the result. I want 100% result for sales, this, that. And he has to put the effort and he has to show I am putting the effort also. Then only the results.
Yeah. I think we'll stop here today. We'll continue this. I think we'll do the Rajasika karma again and then go on to the Tamasika karma tomorrow. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
You want to play anything, Dr. Brahma?
Yeah, you say Maya Panchakam.
Maya Panchakam, okay.
Tomorrow we'll stop 5 minutes before so that we will not overshadow.
Right, exactly.
All of us will be aware of the time. Okay, Jai Gurudev. Thank you.
निरुपमनित्यनिरंशकेऽप्य खण्डे मयि चिति सर्वविकल्पनादिशून्ये घटयति जगदीश जीवभेदम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया श्रुतिशतनिगमान्तशोधकानपि अहह धनादिनिदर्शनेन सद्यः कलुषयति चतुष्पदाद्यभिन्ना न घटितघटना पडीयसी माया सुखचिदखण्डविबोधमद्वितीयम् वियदनलादिविनिर्मित्ते नियोज्य भ्रमयति भवसागरे नितान्तम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया अपगतगुणवर्णजातिभेदे सुखचितिविप्रविडार्यहङ्कृतिं च स्फुटयति सुतदारकेहमोहम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया विधिहरिहरविभेदमप्यखण्डे बत विरचय्य बुधानपि प्रकामम् भ्रमयति हरिहरविभेदभावा न घटितघटना पटीयसी माया त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया